that's better. I am here. I just finished teaching a class and doing a couple of mock classes, and TPR has been on my mind. So I wanted to make a little video about TPR to talk about how it can help you, first of all, get through your mock classes, and then after that, I really think TPR will help you get 5 Apple reviews. At the bare minimum, not get 0 Apple or 1 Apple or whatever reviews, because TPR can do so much to add clarity to your classroom and to get your students engaged. So often I look at the remarks from previous teachers on these students that I'm teaching, and they'll say the student was hard to engage, the student's so quiet, they never say anything, and I teach the student, and if I'm using my TPR and bringing my energy, I can get them to do plenty of things in the class. So anyone can do it. It's not like I'm anything amazing. I'm just using TPR and I'm pulling the student to do TPR with me, and it really makes a difference in your class, and honestly, it makes it more fun for you. Nobody wants to teach a class where you're like this. Obviously, it's boring for you, the students. Whoa, they're going to fall asleep, they're going to walk away. Nobody wants that. If you've ever tried to teach a 5-year-old, like I have a 5-year-old daughter, I have to bring a lot of energy when I'm trying to teach her things. Otherwise, she's just gone. Her brain's going in a million places. So, just like my brain is now, let's focus. Let's talk about TPR. First of all, what does this stand for? Maybe square one, right? TPR is total physical response. So for VIPKid, we break this into 2 main categories: instructional TPR and educational TPR. We use it for all levels of students. So sometimes you think, oh, it's just for the babies and they're so cute. We need it for everyone. It's different for your intermediate and advanced students, but all of our students are kids and they all need to be engaged, and so it can be applicable for all of them. So let's talk about instructional TPR first. This helps us get the instructions across, as the name implies. So really for beginners, this is super, super important because we have to keep our language so simple for them. So I don't want to have to tell them, can you please draw a line all the way from the big A to the small a over there? Because that's super long, right? And so I can just say, draw a line. I can show them in the air, I can show them in the screen, and their response is to do the same thing. So it elicits a response from them, therefore it qualifies as TPR. So also when I want them to repeat something, I'll cup my ear, and when I'm showing them what I want them to say, I'll point to my mouth. Quick note on that, instead of, my name is Teacher Sharon, can you say Teacher Sharon? Right? Make sure you're just pointing to your mouth when you're showing the student what you want them to say. So I'll say, like, apple, and have them repeat that back, because sometimes people are pointing to their mouth where they're saying all sorts of things, and it's really not effective. So keep that in mind. Pointing to the mouth, draw a circle, show them that one, or even write big P. So think about this with the beginner students. How can you show them actions that will make the directions make sense so that you're not having to say so many extra things? So instructional TPR, that's how it applies for the beginners. Instructional TPR for intermediate and advanced students, we still use it. So if I'm asking the student a question, I'm like, what do you think we can do to prevent pollution? Right? And so instead of, what do you think we can do to prevent pollution? You can look confused, you can do all of these actions, so all of these extra clues that let the student know we're thinking about something and I need a response from them. Or maybe I'll say, like, my shirt is made of cloth. Do you have something made of cloth? Different actions like that. We're just giving them clues. You're going to need to respond to this, so here's some things that will give you an idea of what we're looking for. And then maybe I'll say, like, can you read number 1? Read number 1. Or, do you see 3 apples? Are there 5 tens? So all of these ways, it's just adding extra clues. I don't necessarily want the student to do these actions back. I'm just giving them extra clues to get the instructions across so they understand what we're trying to do. This is instructional TPR for the beginner and the intermediate. Okay, so now let's go over to educational TPR. This is where a lot of people are falling short in the mock classes that I've seen. And this is the TPR where we're showing the student actions and then, important, we also want the student to do those actions. Okay, so this is not just can they follow the directions, this is can we also get them to do these things. Why? So that it's engaging and they're not just sitting in their chair slumped. We've all taught those students where they're just kind of forced to be there. Parents are holding their shoulder down, right? So do what you can to make this a fun experience so that they don't feel so forced to be there. So for beginner students, and we'll start with beginner students, I'll say big P. And I want the student to do big P, small p, or big X, small x. Quick side note, we don't teach little letters, we teach small letters for the sake of consistency. So let's just all agree to stop teaching little and start saying small. Or even lowercase, oof, don't do it. Small, keep it simple. And then when we're blending, like those dreaded point and read slides that we have a lot, you can do something like app, app, or maybe app. Any actions you want. There's not a right or wrong answer there, but get some sort of actions and that'll help the student. So then you can pull away your help without having to say, now you can do it on your own. It'll keep things simple for these beginner students. App, app. Map. Whoa, don't say that. App. And then we can see if the student can do it on their own. Of course, we all know our synthetic phonics and we would never make mistakes like me. So those are some things that can help you out. Beginner students, educational TPR. Again, we still use educational TPR for your intermediate and advanced students. Actions we want them to do as well. So, for example, when I'm teaching a new vocabulary word or a new term, like made by people or natural, or maybe it's like natural, whatever you want to do. But then the student can say like, oh, I think the Great Wall is made by people. It helps them remember the term and kind of connect it with what that means, right? So give them that to help them out with the vocabulary words. And this can also help them with pronunciation. So maybe we have to say correct represent pronunciation. And I'll say represent. Or for beginners, we can also use this represent. And the student can do those actions back as well. And then always, this is my basic go-to, yes or no. It applies to everybody. Yes or no. Once again, there's not like a right or wrong TPR action to do with anything, but come up with some sort of action. So sometimes in the teacher directions, we'll suggest a specific action to do, like maybe sit and stand, or we'll say like use the thumbs up or thumbs down, but you can adjust to your student and adapt things and to your own personal preference. So maybe you're like, I don't really want to sit and stand, but we do want you to do something. So you can say yes or no or whatever your method is, but use that educational TPR, right? So this, again, will help engage the student. It'll help teach those vocabulary words. It'll help with pronunciation. And overall, this TPR will change your classes. It'll make you soar through the mock classes in that particular department because it's not something I'm seeing consistently from people, and it really can make a difference. Adding clarity, getting the students engaged, teaching vocab words, it's a win-win-win. How can you go wrong? So apply this TPR. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Feel free to leave messages in the comments below. And ideas, maybe things that have worked for you, different TPR actions that you like in your class that has worked with your students, and then that would be great for everyone else to learn from. Once again, thanks for watching my video. I'll post the link to my referral link. If you haven't applied to Teach with VIPKid yet, you really should. And I'll also link to another video I have kind of explaining why I suggest or always recommend people teach with VIPKid and why I love this company. You can also apply with my referral code that I'll also put in the link comments below, and I'll also put it right here so that you can use my referral code when you're applying. If you do that, then I'll be able to track your progress through the application process. All right, comment below questions or extra ideas you have, and I'll see you guys next time.